going. We're 24 minutes late, but yeah.
I know that's my fault. Sorry.
It's still within the time frame. We still are. It's around 5. We're running on Hawaiian time today, so it's around 5. It's still 5.
What the hell is that guy doing? Tell me what that guy's doing. Can you see that
Is
guy?
he climbing? Is he
What the hell is he
repairing your ceiling, or?
I don't know. He's actually an FBI agent.
Oh wow, cool.
Heather's, because we're off this week for all curriculum classes are off because we had a belt ceremony Saturday. So this week all we have is fitness classes. So a lot of my belt guys come in for the fitness classes, and he's one of them. So yeah, we got a. He's one of my top students. He's pretty damn good. He's
literally at the top right now, like quite literally at the top.
Where is he? That was pretty weird to do that. I would never do that because I just don't trust it coming loose.
Oh man, you really should let him know that.
No, that's not him. That's not. He signed the waiver. He signed the waiver. Nothing. We try to be safe and everything, but we got to protect ourselves too. So our waiver is very extensive. Our waiver, it includes everything under the book, including but not limited to cussing, being yelled at, or sexual harassment.
And climbing a rope all the way to the top of the ceiling.
Now there's other people doing it. Oh my God! Now everybody in the class is doing it. Anyway, so what do we got? You got everybody invited?
Yeah, we have a few people. One person already jumped in and said hi. Hi, welcome.
Hey, welcome guys.
Today we're talking about, are head kicks good for the streak? A lot of people are going to be very inclined to just jump in and put one letter answers, yes, no. And I just want to encourage you, if you decide to say yes or no, can you just say why you think that is? That way we can have a discussion.
Or why you think it's not, yeah.
Yeah, why you think it is or why you think it's not. So how about you, John? What do you think? Are they good for the street?
I think they are very, very good for the street. Very.
And why is that?
Because they're great at a certain distance, right? So they're not great if you're in close. They're not great if you're on the sand. They're not great if you're slippery ground. You know, there's a lot of times they're not going to be great, but there's a lot of times you can't punch either. That's not great. There's a lot of times an elbow's not great. There's a lot of times a knee's not great. But I think when the distance dictates and the flooring dictates, I think it's a great way to add tremendous power, knockout power with one strike. And I think because the legs are so much, bigger and you have so much more knockout power, I think they're a great way to end a fight, in the street.
What do you say to people? Well, let's start with this. Okay, we got a few comments. I suppose head kicks are good as long as you don't miss.
What if you miss an overhand right? I mean, that's like the most common strike in all of street fighting is a right, like a Dan Henderson right, kind of like an overhand almost. What if you miss that? Now the guy got your back and he's kicking you up and slamming you on the ground. So no matter what you miss a leg kick and the guy punches you in the face and knocks you out. You miss a body kick, you can get kicked in the face or hit in the face. No matter what you miss, you're open for something. You're not open for many techniques if you miss a head kick. You're still at a longer distance. And a lot of times, how many counters have you seen off of head kicks as opposed to body kicks and leg kicks? Not as many. So, yeah, anything you miss is not good.
And what do you say to, we're going to get to some more comments, but there's kind of a learning curve here, right? I mean, I can kick someone in the head. I'm guessing you can kick someone in the head, but what about those people that, well, I guess, here, let's twist
Stretch
this question.
more. Stretch more. That's all. Just fucking stretch more and practice your head kick. It's like any technique. What if they're not good at a left hook? The learning curve is much higher for the left hook than the right hook. So you're gonna lower the learning curve, lower it so much. Pretty soon, all they'll have is a haymaker right hand, right? So fucking train your head kick. That's all. Bing. Problem solved.
Okay. How long?
And
You
stretch,
didn't even let me
stretch.
finish the question, John.
Because I knew exactly. I hear that one. I hear it. I hear that one. Oh, that's an. I hear people say, "Oh, that's more of an advanced move." How is that advanced? You're kicking someone in the head. You know, it's not. It's not a tech. It's not an advanced technique. It's not like a twister or an umaplana or a fucking jump spinning crescent kick. It's a head kick. Very basic. Anyway, go on.
Omniplata. Don't even get me started with the Omniplata. So, so, so how long do you think it would take someone to head kick? A beginner walking in, doesn't know how to fight. How long do you think they're good to go for that? How long would you give it?
No longer than a left hook. So I'd say, I'd say some guys who are naturally flexible, it'll take them a fucking week. Some guys that aren't flexible and they're not athletic at all, I don't know, it might take them a month. Some guys like a left hook or overhand or a spinning back kick, it's going to take them a hell of a lot longer. But we're not doing a week long self defense course, right? We're not doing a quick seminar. These are students that are training at our gym, and I'm talking about martial artists. For all you martial artists out there, if you've been at it longer than 3 months, you should be able to kick someone in the head. And if you can't, you should get down and fucking stretch more and practice your head kicks. It's not a very advanced technique. It takes a little bit of flexibility. Some people have that coming in. Some people got to work on it. So you work on your flexibility, and the head kick will come. That's a meme. Work on the flexibility, and the head kick will come.
Yeah, I hate to.
We
I
got
tried to give some sort of critical feedback, but I agree. I had a guy come in. He was about 215, 220. He came from a BJJ background, so he's never kicked in his life. And
yeah.
he was, when he came in, he was thinking, I'm not going to be able to kick above my waist. And I told him, just work on your kicks, work on your stretches. Here's what you need. And whether or not you can head kick someone within a few weeks, don't focus on that. Focus on stretching. And
Yeah.
to his surprise, and even to mine, he was kicking head level by 3 weeks. And he's
Yeah.
never did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, never really learned how to kick in his life. And in 3 weeks, he was able to get
And
it. Right?
and I have
Not the
guys.
most athletic guy either. Like, so it's.
I have guys.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
John's right.
guys.
Here's more proof to that, but it is
I have guys
possible.
that have been here for years. I've had guys that have been here for years and can't do a fucking head kick still. Because they're fucking, it's lazy and just no discipline, right? So just like, and they're not going to promote because you have to show proficiency in a head kick to promote. But just like some people never get the conditioning because some people, you know, now short. Somebody might have a hip problem or some kind of hamstring issue or something, and it's genetic, and they can't ever. They have no flexibility. That's a different story. That's the 1%. The other 99% of the people that can't do head kicks is because they don't have the discipline to stretch, and that's the reason.
Boom.
Bing.
So here's a few more questions. One guy's asking, where can I get a Pit T-shirt?
Okay.
I know it's not from the pit.tv. That's a
No,
different link.
It's like
It's a different link.
the pitmonsterapparel.com.
Okay, so
Pit Monster. Try type that in and see if it .com. See if that.
Last time I did that. Pit
I think that's it.
Monster
Apparel.com.
.com. The problem is let's see, before I say that. Last time I did this. Oh, good. Yeah, it is. Okay, I got it. Here I'm gonna. All right. So for those of you who just for Jimmy, Jimmy, you just asked me that. Check it out. I'm gonna put the link right here.
Jimmy
Boom.
Jam. Yeah, Jimmy.
There you go, brother. Just I put the link right there. You can click on there, and it'll take you there. You're welcome,
Jimmy
man.
Johnson.
Next we have Crystal asking, "Are kicks good against a knife?"
I mean, a knife is better, and a gun would be best. But I mean, if you got basically six weapons or six limbs, I'd say a kick would be better than a punch, and a kick would be better than a knee, and a kick would be better than an elbow. So, in a street fight against a knife, I think a kick would be a very good weapon, um, as would punches. But the distance of the kick and the power of the kick, does make it a good weapon. I mean, anything they get inside of, obviously you're in trouble. But they can get inside of your punches too, right? And just the fact that you're punching them means you've already given up some distance. So at least with a kick, you've got a little more distance, and you can. And one thing about a knife with your kicks, um, you should you should be able to create more distance and deploy your weapon. You should be carrying a weapon. If you're not, why not? Why aren't you carrying a weapon? And then kick, deploy, make some distance, deploy your weapon. You should always be carrying a weapon. I mean, even if you're on a plane, at the least you should be carrying a tactical pen. But then you're not worried about a knife because no one else is carrying them unless they got a box cutter like they did before. But you know what I mean.
So I have another comment here coming from Guitars Rock Forever. I guess the only extra weakness with a head kick is you're more likely to lose your balance if you're on uneven ground when compared to a punch. This kind of goes with what you were saying earlier about sand. You kind of mentioned
Yeah,
that a
yeah,
little bit earlier about
yeah. The ground,
on sand or dirt.
yeah. But then again, if you throw a hard liver kick on one leg, you're on one leg still. You can lose your balance. And the problem with it is when you're throwing lower kicks, you're closer to your opponent. So if they had a knife, they could stab you while you were kicking, or even punch you, right, and counter your kick. With a head kick, I don't know if you fell on the ground, you jump back up real quick. You've seen guys lose their balance in the UFC, right? They lose their balance with a head kick and just pop right back up. So I mean, no matter what you throw, you might lose your balance. And I think that the distance outweighs the fact that you shouldn't throw it at all. So I think you should throw head kicks. What do we get? We get someone else.
We got two coming in. I guess let's start. Oh, we'll do it in order. We'll do it in order. JMV asks, Sensei, should you train the other three knuckles?
This is so not funny. This I had surgery, okay?
Okay, am I missing something? Is there an inside joke?
No,
There's an inside
because
joke here, isn't there?
no, maybe because he's teasing my knuckles.
Ah,
That's like, I mean, to be honest, that would be teasing, teasing a. No, why don't you tease a wrestler and tell him to get fucking his ear? Should he have another ear or something? It's like he's like saying my knuckle is ugly. Like you would tell a wrestler his his ears are ugly. But thanks a lot. Now I'm gonna fucking cry at home and contemplate suicide.
I'm happy with these two knuckles being big. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't complain.
I know.
Yeah, John Cox asks, practice techniques that you can do drunk. He's not asking a question, he's just saying. Sensei, what's the best range for a head kick? Coming from old school karate guy.
And that would be, I mean, without giving it a distance measuring, I'm going to say you're at head kick range. It's its own range. You know what I mean? Like leg kick range, head kick range, jab range, hook range, elbow range. Head kick range is its own range. It's the longest range where you can still make contact with your opponent and they can make contact with you. That's the longest range that you can have in a fight. That's why it's safer because you have more distance. So the biggest thing you're worried about right now is a knife. So that's the best distance for that. So you got to be at head kick range to throw a head kick.
Oh, here's another one. So, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the Taekwondo point karate style top of the foot, or more of the Muay Thai shin, the shin of your leg, like your actual shin bone? Which
Yeah,
head kick do you recommend?
I think you just like you do when you go to the bar and try to pick up a chick when you're drunk. The same holds true. You take what you can get. I mean, seriously. I mean, because kicking the shin is the best for hurting them. But you can knock people out with the top of your foot as well, and it all depends on the distance. Because if you look at this, say this is the foot, and my toes are pointed, right? So this is my foot right here. Okay, so if they're over here, I'll kick them with my foot, and then if the guy comes in closer, or if I go in closer, I'll hit him with my shin. So it depends on the distance. Either one knocks out. You can actually hit them harder with a shin because that's two bones and they're like a baseball bat, as opposed to 28, 27 little bones in your foot. But with that said, you fucking point your toes and you kick them with the top of your foot, you catch them just right, you're going to knock them out just as easily. It just hurts a little more. It might hurt your
Yeah.
foot a little bit or something like that. But there's so many knockouts with the foot. I think even more because of the distance, right? So that's what it depends on.
All right, and that's a
I'll
good
tell
one.
you a good example. Like when you hit somebody, you want to hit them with these two knuckles, right? But you won't get to 90% of the time because they're not going to stay in one place. All they got to move is like an inch this way. Now you just hit them with your other two knuckles. So it depends on, you want to aim for the shin, the bottom of the shin, but a lot of times if you get just a little more distance, you're going to hit them with the top of your foot. If you get a little less distance, you're going to hit them more in the middle of your shin, and you don't generate as much whipping power, right? As much torque that way. Anyway, that's my answer. I don't know.
No, it's
I'm
good.
lost.
I mean, I know a lot of guys that are like sacrilegious about this, like only the shin,
Yeah,
and insist that only
that's
the shin.
that's somebody that's never fought.
Ah!
Because you can't, no, because you can't do that in a real fight. You know what I
Well,
mean? You can't.
I've had coaches, man, and they fought. They're just really, 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 really. What's the word I'm looking for? Maybe it's just maybe we're touching on a Kaja Kembo thing because the guy was a
That
Muay Thai kickboxing coach.
then it's not practical because you can't. If somebody tells you always hit with these two knuckles, they'll say it's better to hit with these two knuckles, but nobody will ever say only hit with these two knuckles because you can't. In a real fight, when the guy's moving around and you're trying to hit him, you can't tell what knuckles you're going to hit with. You can't predict, just like you can't in it with the kicks.
So with that, I have another question for you. But I hear Sensei, we normally wear shoes. So with the foot tip, um, I, I, I'm trying to make this because the grammar's a little off. With the foot tip, I can kick harder with a
Yeah,
shoe on.
yeah. Well, of course, because it's like you can hit harder with a glove on, right? With a MMA glove or a bag glove. You can hit harder with a bag glove than you can without it because it wraps around. Let me see here. So pull back. Yeah, but you just it's tighter and it's more protected with a shoe on, so you can hit harder. You can, and you have better grip with your feet, especially if you're on the concrete. So it's better to kick with shoes on, but a lot of people don't wear shoes all the time, like me. So I kick with my bare feet.
So, hey, Mr. Hackelman, Ovid Van Sickle says, do you ever suggest hitting with the toes pulled back?
Uh, yes, but well, okay. Here's one. Here's a really really advanced one. Um, we're much more advanced than head kicks, or this would be like a twister or some kind of weird submission. I mean, it's in martial arts, it'd be like a spinning hook kick or something like that. Kicking with the ball of the foot, especially the roundhouse kick, does take. It doesn't take more time. It's just most people now they adapt the little Muay Thai stuff, so they have those kicks more. So over the years, even though when I first started, it was all ball of the foot kicks, it has evolved. It's evolved to shin and instep kicks. So most people don't even kick with the ball of the foot anymore. But there is a way. It is better. Like if their arm is just here, you can't fit the whole foot in here. You can like point it in with your toes. They call it a toe kick, but it's really ball of the foot. Ball of the foot.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot out here in different styles of Japanese karate. So, okay, so now we're touching on the question I was about to ask. So when you're hitting the bag, when you're preparing to practice your head kick, is there one kick you recommend, or do you recommend working all ranges? So like we just said, hey, yes, the Muay Thai shin bone kick is one of the hardest because of the bone, but do you recommend practicing all three variations that you just mentioned? Top of the foot, uh, the ball of the foot, and the shin.
The
What do you
ball
recommend?
of the ball of the foot, I'll just practice very seldom. I wouldn't. I don't think people have become proficient enough with that to really in a street fight. I have had fighters win fights like that in the cage. In fact, one of my guys won with the ball of his foot to the liver, and I told him in the dressing room, we've been practicing that kick. I don't know why, but we were. And I told him if he scores with it, he skips a belt. So when he got his black belt, he actually promoted to black belt second degree
Oh, nice,
because he did
nice.
it. Now he's a
He did
cop.
it.
He's actually a cop. But you can land it, but I would never try it in the street just because I feel so much more comfortable with all of my roundhouse kicks are with the top of the foot or the shin. All of my spinning back kicks are with the heel, and my front kicks are either the bottom of the foot or the ball of the foot, depending on if it's a push kick or a snap kick.
So again, just to clarify, you do recommend when you're kicking the bag, the top of the foot and the shin, not just the shin, because right, this happens to guys, especially like I said, I think this is we're falling in this Kaja Kembo kind of thing, like this mentality of if it works, why am I just going to do one type? So you are saying, hey, it's cool, like not just the shin, you can also kick the
Yeah,
bag with the top of the
yeah,
foot.
but I've trained with like the top Muay Thai guys in the world, obviously, and the top Kajakamo guys in the world, and nobody's ever told me to throw a shin kick, but not an instep kick. Nobody's ever told me that because both have a place. Probably half of the liver kick knockouts, half of the head kick knockouts, I bet are with the instep, and the other half are with the shin. You can't judge it. So anyone that tries to is they've never been in a fight, or they're clueless because you can't do that. You
I think
can't.
they're
I mean,
stubborn. They're
no,
stubborn.
who?
They're
No,
stubborn.
because you get stubborn up to the point where you're humbled. If you realize you can't always do something, and it's in a fight, a combative situation, the stubbornness goes away just out of the want for or the need to stay alive or stay relevant, right? So I don't know,
Yeah.
but they
There
so
might be a
bottom line,
combination of stubborn, and maybe at the time I was
stupid.
being trolled because I'm visiting their gym, so they gotta say something to me. They gotta say
Could
something
be.
to me. when I'm visiting, correct something. So they're going to come in and say that the
Yeah.
instep kick is no good and it has to be a shin kick.
So
And I
yeah.
followed that by knocking out all their black belts. But
And
that's a different story.
then yeah, and then somebody that says that goes to throw a kick, and the guy moves a little back, and he hits him with his. Well, what's he going to do? Is he going to say, "No, that didn't count because I kicked him with my instep instead"?
Well,
Oh,
they were just.
that's
I think they were just sore because I just got done sparring and I knocked out all their black belts, and then we went to go train, and they weren't too happy about the sparring
that must be it. That was it.
So anyway, is there
Was
anything
that in
else you want to wrap
Japan?
up? That was
No,
Japan,
no,
yeah.
no, no. I mean, what will we get any more feedback? Any more questions?
No. Oh wait. No, that was it. That was the last one. If anybody's gonna say something, say it now or forever hold your peace. Not just kidding. We're here every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So if you have any questions that you didn't address this time, come up next week. We try to be around 5 o'clock. If for some reason we're a little late, it will end up in the 5 o'clock range. We're definitely live before 5:30, and we usually somewhere between 5 and 6 Pacific Standard Time. We're here to answer questions and talk about martial arts topics.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, the short answer is yes. Head kicks are very good for the street. Just like people said in the old days, people say, "Oh, it'll never work." When people are doing point fighting, they say, "Oh, yeah, that'll never work in kickboxing." Guess what? They did. Oh, a hook kick that'll never work in kickboxing. Guess what? You know how many knockouts I've seen with kick. So what do you think of Superfoot's lead leg style to the head? That's good for point fighting, I think. It might be good in a street fight. I don't think it's going to do the damage that I like because I feel like if you want to get power to a head kick, your front kick shouldn't be your front leg or the leg you're kicking with shouldn't be in the front when it starts. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's right.
So
So you're talking about
like
if you have the lead leg, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do a switch step, like
right, either
a quick
switch
switch step. If you're
or
gonna do the
just
lead
take a
leg,
step back or take a step
yeah,
forward or just come out as a southpaw knowing you're going to throw like the liver kick. You know what I mean? But the power leg should be back. Just like when you're throwing a ball, you don't throw it with the front hand, you throw it with the backhand, right? The same goes. I feel like the same holds true for a head kick. You got a lot more power with the back leg. If you kick just a regular from where it's standing, your front leg won't have nearly as much power. I'm not saying you can't knock someone out. I mean, you can knock someone out with a jab if they lean into it or you hit them just right. You can hit someone with it, knock someone out with the front leg head kick, but not as often, and it's not as effective. It's not as efficient. So you might get lucky with it, but that is going to have to be a lot of luck. It's good for jabbing out there, sticking it out there. But if you want to knock someone out, you need the power leg, the knockout leg, the leg you want to knock that person out. It needs to be chambered or cocked back somehow, whether it's a skip, a step, or just a a stance where that's the leg you're going to hit it with, right? So most of the time, people land knockout head kicks with their rear leg. And when they do it with the front leg, they get at least a half step, like when John Jing knocked out. I forget who she knocked out with that. She did like a half step up and then the head kick, and it knocked her out. So that's what it is. So you should the Bill Wallace kind that was great for jabbing and scoring points, but for the most part, you're not going to do much damage with it. And in a street fight, you want as much damage as quickly as you can get. Do you know
Do you
Spurling?
know Wolverine, a martial artist on YouTube? I think you two would be great friends in real life. There you go. Someone to look up.
I
So
will.
Wolverine, if you're watching, hit us up. If not, maybe John will find you and he'll hit you up. Hey, were you doing a live with McDojo this morning on
Yes.
Instagram? I saw
Yeah.
something come up. I was in the middle of walking my
It was
dogs, but
long, man. Because he did something where it says, "Do you want to join?" and I've talked to him. He actually come up here before.
Oh,
Um,
really? Cool.
yeah, and we just started talking, and then it was a lot about I don't know, like raping, because he does like some grandmasters rape, and so he does that kind of shit a lot. I never met Ed Parker, so there's that he looks out for, and then people that teach phony techniques and stuff. He's an interesting guy. I like him.
Yeah, he's really I like the topics he covers.
Yeah, and
Well,
I've never met Ed Parker.
and he's yeah, because I was someone asked, did you ever meet Ed Parker? And never met Parker. All right, brother. Is there anything you want them to know?
No, just keep go to Pit underscore Master. Check out my Instagram. I put some up almost every day, and stay watching this because you're gonna not only get a lot of interesting content, you're also gonna be entertained. So you're gonna be educated and entertained. Go figure. That'll never happen in college. And then so check that out, and then um, when you go to Pit underscore Master, how would I get them to go to my email list? Try to go to my email list because I'm
Is
doing
that
a
on,
lot of
is that on your
what?
website? That's on your
Yeah, it's
website,
on my
right? The pit.
website,
Okay,
thepit.tv.
let me put the pit. I'm gonna put that up right now.
All right.
Dot TV. All right, it's loading it. All right, got it. Command
Yeah.
C. And boom. All right. So yeah, if you guys want to sign up for the email list, you girls, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you want to identify as, it's there on the comments. So you can go on the pit.tv. All right.
That's
We're gonna
it.
go try
That's
and train
it.
our other two knuckles. See, they said three. I think these two aren't bad for me, but these two need more help. So I'm gonna go work on that.
All right. Makiwara time. I have a Tokaido. I have a Tokaido Makiwara.
You have a Tokaido one.
I have a
I still don't have one. I've been doing your cheat sheet with the towel on the floor. That's what I've been doing.
That works. That works good, man. The only time it doesn't work is if you're
Portable.
in a hotel and then next thing you know they're knocking on the door. This security. I'm getting complaints from the guys underneath you. Like, oh shit, sorry. What?
Nice knuckles. Nice
Uh,
knuckles.
thank you. So we good?
Uh, well, we'll catch you all next time every Wednesday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Live chat with UFC coach John Hackelman. See you later.